All right. All right. Well, good morning, everyone. A little bit late today. Apologies for that. I had to get a new phone. I had to wait for it to show up at the top of my driveway and sign for it. So unfortunately, I'm still trying to set the thing up, but we'll see. I may have to wait until I'm done here to finish it. But anyway, welcome to Somewhat Daily Tarot and Rune. I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside. And don't you love it when your phone's the screen on it cracks and you have to get a new one? I don't know. I try not to drop things, but I still do. So I think that the screen has been cracked from almost the time I bought it, and then I dropped it again recently on some rocks and it shattered the bottom part of it. So I didn't have a choice. I had to do it. I hate that sort of thing, though. I used to like getting new phones, but now it's such a pain to have to set it up, and I don't know. Anyway, this is a Tuesday. It's a Mars energy day. It's also a 9 energy day, being the 27th, so we're looking at energies of completion. I don't have anything up on the blog yet today because I've been up again at the top. We have an 800-foot driveway, and our gate is kept locked, although we have a small gate for freight. But because I had to sign for this thing, I just had to sit up there. It was supposed to be delivered by 10:30. It didn't get delivered until 11:15 because somewhere, either my phone company or something got it wrong. But I paid to have it delivered by 10:30, so I would have plenty of time to do this. But of course, that didn't happen. So it is what it is, I guess. Anyway, it's setting up the iCloud right now, so we'll let it do its thing and we'll get on with this. So, hope everybody had a good day yesterday. And I have not had a chance to look at any astrological information, so I can't tell you anything about that other than it's a Mars energy day. I don't know what the elements are doing. I don't know anything yet, so that'll come later, unfortunately. I suppose I could have just taken my computer up there and done it, done that part at least, but I don't have any Wi-Fi up there, and so anyhow, we'll just wing it with just the cards today, and the rune, and the geomancy rune. If this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Click subscribe. I promise you I'll be better organized tomorrow. If you've come back, then you know. You already know what it's like here anyway. Let's go ahead and take our first card and see what we have for today. I think that's enough shuffling. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And as you know, if you've been here before, I take the 13th card for randomness sake. And right now we have, for our first card, the 8 of Cups. So it's the water element, it's our emotional presence. And here we're going to go ahead and leave behind emotions that no longer serve. He's kind of walking uphill slightly. And so, there's a little bit of unknown aspect here to the whole thing, but he's not afraid of a challenge. And so whatever's coming, he's well prepared, but at the same time, he's ready to let some things go. 8 is about inner strength and about harmony. But it's a type of harmony that's more collective in nature, so more unity consciousness related than just simple harmony between within or may, although this could actually indicate harmony within. Actually, if you're going to talk about it from a spirit standpoint, then it actually would be, wouldn't it? We've just let go of the personality side of things and the ego side of things, and maybe we're ready to ascend to new spiritual heights today and new spiritual awareness. I think that actually feels more right. If the cups were overturned, I might think something else, because then that would be emotions that no longer serve. But here, it's almost like we're going to transmute into something greater. So the higher level of self versus the lesser form of self, which would be the personality or ego. Let's do another card. Well, we have death, so definitely this is transition, transformation, and rebirth. I wanted to show you, we've talked about this before. I'm going to set the cards down. Should I get over here? You see the two pillars right here? And you see the sun rising between them? Yeah, people are dead on the ground. The king's dead on the ground. You've got people in grief and all of that. But Death rides through the scene on his white horse, symbolizing purity and rebirth. We also have the white rose above, which is, I just think, is beautiful. But here you have the rebirth into something new. So basically we're going through a new doorway into new experiences. It's the 13th card of the major arcana, so it's a soul archetype card, and you're looking at, you know, the foundation of our lives, the elemental structure of our lives, basically, with the 13, because it reduces to 4, unless you wish to keep it like I do as the master witch number. But then you're looking again at transformation, aren't you? Transmuting from one state to another. And again, that's what we're doing here. And I think that, and I really think that that given it's an 8 and the cups are not overturned, that I'm not going to say that it's about leaving what no longer serves us, but that this has actually served us quite well. And we're ready for something else now. We're ready to transition into higher heights, basically, higher spiritual awareness. And then with the death card, we do that. Well, here we have the Hanged Man. So the 12th card of the major arcana. We see a series of 3s here. 12 reduces to 3. Let's put the cards down again. And we see 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, I did it. When you have to do things backwards, and I don't know, it's weird. Anyhow, but here you see the triple aspects, don't you? Mind, body, spirit alignment. Surrender. It's another word for this card. But here we go within and we align, don't we? We could actually put that before death, and I think I will. So we're going to go from 8 to 12 to 13. Yeah, that feels right, because we're going to go from inner alignment to then transformation. Let's put the 8 afterwards. We could put that after. And then after we go through our transformation, we are ready to move on to higher spirit awareness. Now, yesterday we had Ansu's, which was spirit communication yesterday for the rune. The 4th rune of the Elder Futhark. So, again, that would have aligned well with death, wouldn't it have? But here we have Thurzaz, which is the 3rd rune of the Elder Futhark, aligning well with the Hanged Man. But here, I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to put it down here next to the Hanged Man. Here it's the Thorn, it's Thurzaz, it's Thor's rune, basically. We're going to break through dynamic. It's defense. You're basically defending, but it's not in an offensive way. So you're going to break through barriers, break through obstacles that are preventing you from moving forward. Now, we can align this either with death, or we can align it in between. We could put it actually in between the Hanged Man and death. And let's see, let's get everything back up on the screen here, since it left me. There we go. I mean, if you're looking at it in terms of order here, Again, I'm going to put, I think I'm going to put the 8 at the end. And the reason that I'm going to do that is that I think that it's the final result. Unity consciousness, breaking through to higher self. I really think that that's the, we'll start with the Hanged Man. Let's see. They're still updating cloud settings. Okay. I don't know. It just came, the phone just came back on. Anyway, I don't know what's going on there. But I think we're going to start with going within and aligning in source presence. And then that's going to align well then with Thurazaz. As we then break through, we take that information that we learn by aligning in source presence, mind, body, spirit alignment. We break through whatever obstacles that we need. Now, it could also align with the 8 as well, because you see the mountains in the background. He's kind of going up a hill. So that could be also, you know, breaking through to transform. So you could put it there. But then we have death, and there's your transformation, right? That's the choice to move on and transform. And you could put the 8 in the beginning, but I don't think so, because I think this is the direction we're going. And so I think that this actually is what's going to be at the end of it. Now let's look at the geomancy rune here and see if we can get just a little more information here. Set that over there. Well, I don't have my light here, so let me put this here and see if I can see this. So that's going to be earth. That's going to be 2 dots for earth, 2 dots for water, 1 dot for air, and looks like 2 dots for fire. So I believe we're looking at Rubeus, aren't we? Yeah, we are. We're looking at Rubeus. And so there we're looking at passion. Let's see if I can find something to write with here, and I will draw that out for you. Hang tight. Oh, there it is. I didn't see it because it fell over. So let's just take a little Sharpie here, and I'll draw that geomancy rune out for you. So we've got 2 dots, which is a passive influence for fire, 1 for air, you know, which that a single dot means an active influence. And so with air, you know, that's just going to get us into trouble, isn't it? And then passive influence for both water, which is our emotions, and earth, which is practical matters. But this is the rune. But I think what we're going to do here is refer to this then as the passion. Okay, 3 is a catalytic number. And so because it's a Mars energy day today, we're looking at passionate energy. We're looking at energy that's catalytic. And so when you take the impetus of will and you're going to then invoke, then you can see where this is going. You're going to take your will and you're going to use it to align within and reject what the ego is telling you today and let spirit inform the process. We're going to transform here. It's time. It's time to let higher self inform, or spirit inform the day. But Rubeus typically is considered an evil influence because it's too much passion, too much unstable catalytic energy. But I think if you look at it purely from an energy standpoint, it takes a lot of will to transform, does it not? So this is a day using the Mars energy of Tuesday that we're going to transform using that catalytic energy, that energy to create, that energy to invoke our will toward transformation. We're going to break through with the energy of Thor and Thurazaz, whatever is in our way. So if our emotions get in the way, the will is going to say, no, no, not time for that. We're not going to wuss out today. We're going to actually transform today. And then we're going to walk away to higher heights, aren't we? Emotionally prepared for the future. Now, this would be a soul-oriented way of looking at this card versus a personality way. Traditional interpretations are you're walking away from emotions that no longer serve, but they're not, the cups aren't tipped over, they're not broken. We see that in the 5, don't we? In the 5 of Cups. But here they're all lined up in a row. There's an order to them. So it could just be a set of emotions that are no longer working for us. If they represent the side of ego or personality, that could be what that is. So whatever emotional expression, although it might work for the personality, doesn't necessarily work for the soul. So I think that's what this is saying. I think we're to take a more spirit focus today. That's pretty good. And I think that it's something that we're ready to do now. I think that, we go along and we progress along the side of the horizontal plane of personality or ego. We try to balance all of that. I think that we have come to terms, perhaps, or we're beginning to, or we've come far enough. We've reached that tipping point where we understand that the isms of life aren't going to work for us. And so we can't see one another as the enemy. We have to, or the other, we have to see one another as family or as a brother or a sister, as the other side of self. That's the horizontal plane. And I suspect that we're leaving the horizontal plane here. And we're moving up into the vertical plane of spirit. And that's a more soul acknowledged focus. When you understand that that's what you are, that the body is just the illusion or the vehicle with which the soul then gains experience here. How are we going to do that? Are we going to do it only with ego informing? And then if we do that, then we have, all the isms of life that keep us apart and separated from one another. In the mode of judgment all of the time, instead of in the mode of spirit, where you just look dispassionately. These are just, these experiences we have, either individually or with others. They're just things to experience. I mean, sure, we're going to figure out whether or not we want to experience them again or not. We're going to figure out if it actually aligns with our soul's purpose. But, so there's going to be decision making, but it's going to be done from a different perspective, not from the perspective of ego. And so that's why I say we're letting go of the horizontal here plane of existence, of polarity, and working that out. And we're aligning in spirit, in the vertical axis here, as above, so below, aspect of self, versus, bringing balance to that and having spirit inform that process. So, and anyway, I'm going to figure out the phone situation here, whatever. Oh, I guess I put it over here. I'm going to figure that out. And after I do that, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write this up and put it on the blog. I'll go ahead and publish this, and then I'll also do the correspondences for today. I have to get those done as well. I mean, we're kind of moving. It's afternoon right now. So in any event, I'll get all of that done and posted. So check out the blog over at imsteppingaside.com. And let's see, this is the 27th. So in a few more days, the monthly tarot reading and the monthly geomancy readings will go up. And so check that out here coming up. But other than that, I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for coming by. Be good to yourself. Be good to one another. And blessed be.